All right, so check this out. So I'm doing the top step trading combine, the 100K combine, and I'm not gonna lie, Nikkei to Nikkei, however you want to pronounce it, has been doing pretty well for me. I should be able to pass by the end of the month, if not early next month, and then I'll go on to paying the 150 to get the live account for the 100K account. Um, with that being said, I started trading forex in 2019, 2018, somewhere around there. I was introduced by a good friend of mine. I started with forex, of course. So I still trade forex, but I just trade forex on the long term, the daily time frame. If you can look um, up here, you'll see some of my forex videos. But I also trade futures. So normally I trade it on the Asian session because that's when I get off work. Um, So, and then normally I look at the chart around 1900, which is 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And pretty much I'm going to show you the same strategy I look at and how I look at the market. So if you look at the title, it's saying 45 to 237, $2,375, meaning that when I say 45 to 2375, that means that's how much I paid for the combine, and the 2375 is what I made on the trade. So if you're coming in here trying to look at how do I flip $45 to 2375, that is my strategy. You can go ahead and click off because this is been I've been in this challenge for about 4 weeks now. I would say 4 weeks. I would say I say about a week and a half now, because the reason I say a week and a half now is because I do take my time and I select the trades that I want. I don't just jump it. I don't just trade every single section. So with that being said, let's go ahead on and get into the strategy. All right, this was yesterday's, and as you can see, this is Asian session. And as you can see, yesterday, this was the actual trade I took right here. This was the actual trade I took right here. It's 700, 1700. So if you look right here, this is 1900. I'm saying 1700. That's 5 o'clock. 1900. All right. So this was I'm just showing you the second trade you could have got in right here and still went for about 18. And as you can see, it actually went up pretty high. But I don't trade during this session. This is not my session. I trade the if I do look at anything else, if I'm off or I'm not at work, I'll look at the NAS, stuff like that. All right. So with that being said, let's look into it. So what I did was cap off what I went to. I went to last week's high, and I just marked it off. As you can see, last week high, and then I look at last week low. All right. You can see right here, this is the last week low, this is the last week high. All right. And this right here was the last session's low. Last session's low. All right, so let's make this red, and let's put a little fatness to it. And then I'll go ahead on and mark this off as last week's low. All right. Boom. So let's get that out the way right here. Get that out the way. All right, and where's my other one? And then let's get this out the way. All right, so understand right here, last week's high, last week's low, I'm sorry, I'm tripping, super tripping. Last sessions low. And I don't have to put last session's high because the last week low pretty much runs into that. All right, so as you can see, 1700 came. My pretty much basic strategy is buy strategy, 10-minute time frame, 2 candle lows, 2 candles must break the 20 SMA, a clear break, place your buys at the highest of the 2 candle lows. So see right here, this is my break right here. Clearly, no wicks touching the 20 EMA. And here's my second break, and I go for 20 ticks. All right. I do have, no, hold on. Let's go. 20 ticks. So I don't trade on Friday. So make sure I don't even look at the chart on Friday. So because I've tried this strategy on Friday, unless there's some big news, it just consolidates on Friday. So I leave it alone. So typically I've been noticing on Monday that it gives me these trades. So here's the biggest thing is you can see I got in at 20. I got in at 36, 38,660. My TP was 38,760, 38,560. I'm out. Boom. As you can see right here, as you can see 38, boom, and I got out with 23.75. This was the NKD. I did take 5 orders. Got 5 orders of that. So that's how I got into that. So pretty much one more trade, I'm done with my combine, and I'm going to take it easy. Probably since it's the end of the month, I'm going to really pick out my trades. If not, I might wait till next week, the beginning of the month. All right, but as you can see, it's still going up. So here's the second entry you could have took. So it came and bounced off the 20 EMA, and then it went up. Here's your first order, second order, got in for another 20. You can get in for another 20, or you can ride it out. All right, and as you can see, it actually, if you're a person to hold trades, that's on you. You could have just rolled your stop loss up, and it probably would have stopped you out again right here. But as you can see right here, it's almost at 50 points, 50 ticks, and go from there. So that's a good strategy. That's a good strategy as well if you like to hold it. But I like to get in and out on these because I've been, I'm not gonna say it's went against me several times, so I learned to get in and get out the market. But here's another thing. Remember, I always told you about Heikin-Ashi. You can look right here. You can see consolidation at the beginning of the Asian session. Look, highs, lows. It broke to the upside, came back down, retracement, basically came back up, and you can see some ugly candles and then burst back up again. So Heikin-Ashi kind of keeps you in the trade. So you could have got out right here, which, like I said, the first trade right here, got out right here, and then as you can see, this wasn't strong, so it basically went back into the bullish candles right here. Little low volatility candles towards this. So most of the time, I'm not gonna lie, it hits right when the session opens. And you can see doing New York session is giving a little coup de grace. All right, but other than that, I like to get in and out right here. You can see consolidation, and I'm not gonna beat this dead horse. Consolidation. All right, and then boom, shot up. All right, retracement, and then retraced over here. This is another good entry. Boom, and you could have just rolled it out back. So if you look at it, look at last week's lows. Has no intention of being bearish. No intention. All right, because it came down. This the last week, not even close to being last week's lows. All right, so last session lows, you can see it came bounced off, not bounced off, but it came back here. It's not even trying to go back down to the last session lows. All right, so obviously you're looking for nothing but what? Bullish sentiment. All right, bullish sentiment. And if you look at where it's heading to, last week's highs, and it actually broke last week's highs. So bounced off this last week's highs, made a less session low, or this could actually be session highs, session lows. All right, bounced over here, came up, retraced, came up, retraced, came up, retraced, and now in a little consolidation, but it's still going upward. All right, and that's how again I take my trades, get in and out, five contracts, 23.75, and then I was good to go. All right, same thing. All right, so let me download that image. All right, and so let's erase all this. Let's erase all this. All right, so what I do is I go to the weekly. Let's get rid of this SMA real quick. This is how I do it. All right, so you can see right here the Nikkei on the weekly time frame is definitely chopping up, and how I can tell you, look at this, chopping up. So sometimes it's easier to catch these plays in the range you can catch these plays in the range as long as it's a big enough range. So if you look, all right, this is the regular candles. All right, so what I do is I go off and mark last week's highs. All right, last week's lows. All right, then I go to the daily. See, that's the weekly. If you look right here, and then what I do is see how the highs is basically right here, same as the weekly, and I go mark up the lows. All right, so then what I do is I go to the 10-minute time frame. All right, so then I look at, if you look at this, last week's highs, last session highs, last session lows are the same. They all equal out. All right. So if you go back to the start of the session last night, all right, and then I don't take nothing before 1700, before I'm sorry, 1900, before 7 o'clock. All right, I go and mark that off. I don't even come to the until I till 1900. All right. Is there anything else? I'm just, and then the spreads is the entry, because the volatility is bad for some reason. I notice my entry is really bad right here. All right, so let's go up. All right, as you can see, what did it do? What did it do? It rejected. All right, it rejected off of there, and I'm just gonna move this for a second. All right, rejected off of here. Boom, shot up. All right, so if you look at right here, if you looked, let's do this. If you looked at opening price right here, and then it made a low right here. Let's not even use the EMA. If you, oops. Let's just watch it. All right. So right here, consolidation. All right. Then at 1900, what did it do? Boom. It's opened up the market a little bit. All right. Went up. All right. Boom. That's your 20 right there. That's your 20 right there. You're out the market already. See what I'm saying? It's going to retrace. Is this? Yeah. Okay. I was making sure. All right. Came down. Came back down to opening, my opening price right there. Probably stopped you out if you got in too high. Then look at this. Came back up and then broke the previous high. All right. It consolidated a little bit till New York session. Then again, eventually it's going to break through last week's high, last session high, and last week's high. See that? And that's how I look at it. I looking for it to break last week's high or consolidate, or if the last session range was small, it was a small range, I'm going to look out to either consolidate or to break in the direction it's supposed to go, which is I use my SMAs for that, and then take it from there. But you see how once it broke, boom, that's the way it's trying to go. All right. So it rejected off here, pretty much the same as the last session lows. Rejected off here. You got in your 20 points. And look, man, 20 points ain't a lot. 20 points or 20 ticks. 20 ticks ain't a lot. All right. But if you look at it right here, that's definitely enough to pay somebody's rent. All right. Definitely enough to pay somebody's rent. All right. And I'm not going to even fantasize if we would have stayed in, because I don't stay in, but I don't even fantasize if we would have stayed in. But let's just, matter of fact, let's just do it for the sake of argument. Let's do it for the sake of argument. I'm going to show you the power of it. All right. And let's do buy the fives. All right. And you buy right here, right? And then you do it. Let's do it. Let's just do it down here. You can see 4,000. If you don't have nothing, a 200K account with Topstep, and you only have 100K, you're gonna blow your account if you got 100K, because you only get 2,000 a day. So it's gonna stop you out for the day. All right. You can see you at 30, 25. All right. See how it came down? But if you was right here, it would have stopped you out. All right. So if you got the 200K account, you're good to go. All right. And let's just go all the way to the end. All right. Look at that. If you can hold with the power of trading futures and the power of patience and the power of your account size being enough to handle these rejections and good risk management, All right, you can see right here, this is enough to pay somebody's whole monthly expenses. And then just wait. Let's go wait to New York session. All right, wait to New York session. Let's see, it is about right. All right, it's going right here. See, look at that, 9,000 in one day. All right, that looks good. That looks good. But if you're just starting off, don't let this fool you, because I can promise you, you're probably going to be waiting here to see how far it goes. Oh, it's rejected now, and you end up getting out way before this and not having the patience. All right, this is hindsight trading. All right, that's hindsight trading. Don't let it fool you. All right, so that's why I get in and get out. The 2K was enough for me, and I can come back later on and look at tomorrow's session. All right. And if you look at the daily time frame, as you can look, tomorrow's session is going to be a pretty wide range. So me personally, I might not trade tomorrow. I might just see where it goes and then come back on Wednesday or Thursday to see where it goes, because it's probably going to trade inside this range. We'll see where it closes today. All right. Other than that, hope you guys have a good trading week. And remember to use risk management. Use risk management. And then let's go, before I go off, let's do this. Let me see. Let me show you exactly what I'm doing. All right. All right. This is what I mean by the accounts. All right. If you go to topstep.com, all right, become a futures trader. All right. You just go to earn funding. All right. This is the one I got. That's why I say 49 to 2375. All right. So you remember your maximum loss limit, all right, is 2,000. So if you would have took that trade that I just showed you, the hindsight trade, all right, you would have been out of it. Even if you took this, you would have probably you wouldn't have been out of it, but you'd have been your risk management wouldn't have been right. All right. So that's with this one right here. All right. So I have this one right here. So my profit target is 3,000. As you can see, I'm a couple $100 off. So I'm not in the rush. And then the maximum is 5 contracts. As you can see, 100K, 10 contracts. Well, I'm sorry, I got the 50K account. I'm tripping, guys. All right. And then the 100K account is 10 contracts. And the maximum loss is $3,000, 150. Maximum loss 545, and profit target is 9,000. As you can see, you can achieve that in one trade. This right here, you can definitely achieve that in one trade. You can definitely lose that in one trade. All right. So whenever you're ready to start trading, you believe you're ready to start trading, you don't have the funding, all right, you can come to Topstep. They've been a pretty good company for me so far in the combine. Again, like I said, I'm not funded. I will come back and show you the journey once I'm funded, once I get payouts. And my prime goal is to get payouts and fund my personal trading account. Other than that, this is the personal trading chronicles of a 9-to-5 guy.